But we need to talk. I love you because you make me feel special, wanted, and proud of myself. So far, I have enjoyed each and every moment we have spent together. Now, things are changing, and I find it hard to keep my faith in you. I still love you, but as our planet is facing climate change, I'm facing a change of heart. Your industry is one of the most polluting in the world, and the numbers are increasing. Now don't tell me you do this because that's just what consumers want. I am a consumer and I'm telling you what I want. Firstly, I want to know that my clothes aren't doing any harm to me or the environment. And secondly, that the people who are making them are working in fair conditions. I fear the moment when I'll have to face my kids and tell them the details about fast fashion. Please think about it. Stand up for our planet. Make smart decisions. Join OEKO-TEX.
So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're joining from. This is the first time TESTEX goes live on LinkedIn, and it's such a great pleasure to share this moment with you. And what we want to look at today is how sustainability standards can contribute to competitive advantage. So I think something that is of concern for every one of us here today. So let's delve right into the topic at hand today. And it starts off with, what challenges are we facing in the apparel industry? We have here a few written down. The apparel and footwear sector is under increased scrutiny. Brands and retailers as well as suppliers are asked to be compliant in many ways. So you have on the one hand side, you have the regulations and the laws and the rules which are given by the countries. And on the other hand side, you have the standards. Thinking of the European Union, you have certain standards you have to comply to. And you have transparency, which is increasingly asked for by the consumers, that your products, because they want to know where your products are made from. And on the consumer side, let's move on to the consumer side, we can see that there are more and more labels, and the consumer has then to choose, well, which one of those 455 plus labels should he or she choose from? And how should he or she make the right decision to choose the most sustainable labels? What are the criteria to choose from? So we have on the one hand side, we have the brands and retailers which are faced with the compliance issues, and they want to become more sustainable. They offer a solution, but then there are so many different ways to meet the requirements that then the consumer is overwhelmed with the different labels. But let's take a step back and see, why are we actually on this journey? Because there's a real problem out there, and we're starting off in the 1880s, and you can see here on the screen live how the Earth is getting warmer and warmer, and the Earth is getting redder and redder and hotter, and this is actually why we want to find a way, a solution on how we can mitigate this problem and how we can become more sustainable. The most recent climate report of IPCC shows that we have to make a drastic change in our way of living, because if we don't make changes now, we can see on our right-hand side that global warming will be 4 degrees more, and 4 degrees more, as you can see, is really dark red, and that means drastic weather changes, drastic ways to our way of living, if we want it or not. Coming to the way we can do something to mitigate the problem and have and offer a pathway to protect our planet. The United Nations offers solutions with their 17 sustainability goals. They have set up in September 2015, and here we have all of them listed, and the ones we focus on I've highlighted here because of course all of them are important, but we as OEKO-TEX and as TESTEX can really focus most prominently on sustainability goal number 12, meaning responsible consumption and production. When we look at who or what OEKO-TEX is and what we offer, this is always the best way I find we can present it, the supply chain. So if we look at the way a textile is produced, we have the chemicals coming into the factory and the buttons or the thread and so on. And then we have the way the textile is produced. So the process, there we offer a certification, and then at the end there's an output, so a textile, a leather garment, and this also can be certified in terms of how sustainably it has been produced, but also that it's safe from harmful substances, so standard 100 here, or the leather standard. Made in green is the one we want to develop even further, because there you can see that the textile has been produced sustainably. So it takes into consideration the process and also that it has been produced safe from harmful substances. Let's look at our oldest and most established standard, standard 100, which has been with us for 29 years now. And here you can see that we have OEKO-TEX has been with us for 29 years, and we have now 23,855 certificates worldwide active. So as you can see on this chart here, the ones that have been certified with us usually stay with us since the beginning. And standard 100 has grown in the past years, as well as the leather standard, but the one we really want to focus on in terms of sustainability is the one we talked about before, so made in green. And this one has increased substantially because we can see that the consumer really is interested in the topic of sustainability, in knowing where the textile has been produced, he's holding in his hands. And this, of course, is based on STEP, which focuses on how the textile or the garment is made so that it's produced sustainably in terms of social and environmental responsibility. And there we're happy to see that over 620,000 workers benefit from the sustainable working facilities thanks to STEP. Some other highlights from the OEKO-TEX business year report of 2020-21. We can see that we have more visitors since last year. It has increased by 62%, which is nice to see. And in the past 2 years now, nearly, we have seen, of course, that there are more masks that have been certified, textile masks, and we didn't want to benefit from the crisis. So what we did was waive the certificate fee that the ones that certified their mask to be safe from harmful substances, we gave the certificate fee back. And even though we are in a crisis in terms of Corona, we wanted to also continue on our pathways for sustainability, And there we worked closely together with Quantis, and we are also happy to say that we are on the United Nations Fashion Industry Charter for Climate Change. What a mouthful, but it's a really important initiative. And this is one picture I like to share every time I do a presentation, because it shows nicely the brands and retailers I'm sure you're familiar with, and are also in one way or another working together with OEKO-TEX. So they use OEKO-TEX as a sustainability standard or a quality standard. They may not label with OEKO-TEX, but they use OEKO-TEX in the background to make sure that they meet the quality standards when they export to the European Union, or they use OEKO-TEX in terms of meeting their sustainability standards or continuing on the pathway for sustainability. Now we talked a lot about OEKO-TEX, who or what OEKO-TEX is, that we have different standards to meet the sustainability requirements and also give you a competitive edge. But why would you choose TESTEX as one of the OEKO-TEX representatives? Well, we celebrated our 175th anniversary just last week, and I think this video here shows very nicely how we can bring together 175 years of expertise. So let's take it away. So as you can see, in the 175 years, we have grown substantially, but we already 175 years ago started off in the textile industry, in the silk trade, and now we are present and at your disposal in 30 locations worldwide. You can see them on the green and blue dots. And the most recent addition to our TESTEX family is in Mauritius and Madagascar, with the two offices you see there circled in red. And if you want to find the direct contact, just visit our website at www.testex.com. There you'll find the direct contact to for the local office and the direct telephone number if you want to get in touch with them. And we are, of course, happy to help you there. So we're already coming to an end of our first LinkedIn Live event. Thank you for tuning in. Here an outlook on the next LinkedIn Live events we have planned. The next one coming up would be, what do consumers really want? Because that's what we are all interested in, of course. We did a big consumer study back in 2017, but we realized how relevant it still is today. with over 11,000 participants in 10 countries and asked them what they are really interested in when it comes to sustainability in general, and also in terms of sustainability when they are purchasing apparel or footwear. Then the next one we would like to look at is a label confusion. There are so many different labels out there, as we saw right at the beginning of this presentation. And how can you find the right label for you as a brand or retailer, but also when you're purchasing as an end consumer? And finally, the one I'm really looking forward to is a panel discussion with OEKO-TEX customers, so that you hear right from the horse's mouth from them what they feel was why they got certified with OEKO-TEX, what were the main challenges, what were the main benefits for them when they were in the process of being certified, but also after they received the certification. So this brings us to the end of our first live LinkedIn event. I'm looking over to if there's any questions. If not, do reach out to us on LinkedIn, follow us on LinkedIn, and drop us a note if you would like to learn more. And as said, there are another free LinkedIn live events lined up for you, so we look forward when you tune in again the next time.